Hi, I'm going to do a freebie today. So it's going to be 10 minutes. I think most of my modules will probably last about an hour, but I'm going to do a freebie. So, cold calling. How successful are you at cold calling? How do you view cold calling? Do you find it easy? Do you find it hard? What made me decide to start coaching was seeing some stuff on LinkedIn around cold calling, and it unfortunately came from sales trainers. So maybe I've not. I suppose I just assume that people have had the training I had, and they haven't probably. I think that's really what it boils down to. So I started my sales career in Windows. What it did do was give me a really good platform for hard graph sales. So I started at 16. I was doing stuff in accounting, okay, and I found it really, really boring. I got offered a lot more money in a sales position and I took the sales position. Okay, so cold calling. Yeah, I saw this post. I don't really like to use like what not to do, but I don't think I can cover this without mentioning some of the things within that post and trying just not to call anyone out directly. So I was in Windows. By the time I was 20, I was running a team of 40, and they used to like locate me in different branches around the Midlands, any that were like losing money, to bring them up to making a some sort of profit, and then they would move me on, and they would put like a supervisor or a manager in there permanently that lived closer. But I used to spend a lot of my time working in different branches around the Midlands, bringing them up to the point where they weren't completely failing and losing bleeding money. So I did that for many, many years. So what that's done is I think I just assume that everybody has had this kind of training if they do cold calling, but I think my assumption of that has been totally incorrect, certainly from what I saw on this post. So what the post was really about was somewhat the sales trainer was saying, when someone is, I don't really want to use the words on here, and we'll say idiot, shall we? Someone is an idiot and they go, oh, I'm only going to give you 30 seconds of my time. You deserve to be treated with respect. And I saw lots and lots of comments from salespeople, and I was quite literally blown away. So, shall I go into really why that blew me away and what should be different to that? Okay, so obviously because I was trained in Windows, they teach you very, very early on. When you cold call, none of this is personal. Nothing is personal. They don't know you. They can't see you. They don't know who you are. This is not personal, it's business. Okay? So it makes it very easy when you make that call to take away, any sort of anxiety, I suppose, around making those initial calls when you first start. So I felt that was really some fantastic training that I got from my supervisor when I first started. Okay. Also, what's really, really important with cold calls is that your mindset when you enter the call. Some of the things that they teach you in Windows is things like you don't know what's going on the other end of the phone. Okay. You don't know if that person's house is on fire. You don't know if they're cooking their tea. You don't know if their dog is having babies. I don't know, right? They're like literally the realms of possibility of what can be going on the other end of that phone, okay, is like off the chart. Okay, so if anyone is ever rude to you, you've just got to bear that in mind, that anything can be going on the other end of that phone. Okay, now obviously when we're talking business to business, that is slightly different, but you've also got to remember, again, you don't know what's going on the other end of that phone. Okay, they could be going on their way into a meeting. They could be in the middle of a sales forecast meeting. They could be, having a meeting with the accountants. You really don't know what's going on the other end of that phone. And that will probably be conveyed in the other caller's voice. Okay? That probably be conveyed. Now, let's just get to the 20, you've got 20, 30 seconds to tell me. Now, actually, I've said that myself, and it was from actually a really positive place. Was one, I'm a salesperson and I perhaps wanted to give them a bit of time to tell me what they're ringing me about. Okay. 2, if it was something that we are looking at the minute, obviously I'd say, look, I'm on my way into a meeting. That's why I said 30 seconds, but it is something we want to look at actually. So could you give me a call back on another day? Because I'm actually just on my way into a meeting. Number 2, if it's something that we're not going to do with them, and I know it's definitely something that we're not going to do, they've had a little bit of a chance, I can tell them straight away and they can move on to the next person. Okay, so I'm saving them some of their time as well, because if they're ringing me, I will probably know if it's something we're going to go for or not. Okay, so it's actually always come from a helpful place, and me wanting to give another salesperson a little bit of time to tell me, rather than dismiss them and say, look, I'm on my way to a meeting, bye, whatever. Right. Now, when you work in Windows, they will teach you about mindset. Okay, very, very, very fast. I certainly like to hope that they all did that. They certainly did with me. And what they taught me was, if you approach this call in the whole vibe of, oh, they're all going to be idiots. Okay, they're probably all going to be idiots. Okay, because it will all be conveyed. Your mindset will be conveyed through your voice. Okay, and they also understand that not every day is a good day for everybody. Okay, so they also teach you how to mimic that. So if you're having a really rubbish day, they teach you how to change your voice in order to mimic having a good day. Okay. They used to do all this American style smile while you dial stuff. Okay, now it's very cheesy and very cliche, I suppose, in some ways, but you can't argue with it because your voice sounds different. Okay, so I was kind of horrified, really, that I saw a trainer and a number of salespeople really commenting about, how they deserve respect. Okay, I was like, what? I was just completely lost. I just didn't understand it. I didn't understand why you would want to put this into the mind of salespeople rather than really saying to them, look, you can actually change your voice to mimic a success rate. That's what you can do. And this is how you do it. So, basically, in order to project having a good day, you just actually speak a bit louder and try and do a little bit of a smile while you're on the phone, and it conveys in your voice. Okay, so I was really shocked that someone was doing that. I mean, I had a team of 40 by the age of 20, so I got asked on the feed, because I said, well, I've actually said that to someone and it actually came from a nice place. It certainly didn't come from being rude or anything like that. It actually come from me trying to help the person on the other end of the phone. And they said, oh, you kind of made many cold calls then. Well, that's not true. But I would never, ever go into a cold call with a bad mindset without checking myself first and mentally preparing myself. Not for very long. I just need to convey that, I sound happy, or I've mimicked my voice to sound happy if I wasn't having the best day. So, it's certainly something that can very easily be done, and you must go into that call with the mindset of, fantastic, I've got through to someone, they're going to help me on whichever level. They're either going to, it's not for them and I move on, or I've got a little bit of time to explain to them why it is for them. Okay, so